All right. So today we're doing something a little different, which is a study. So we're gonna do this study together. It's on Lead Chess, so it's free. All you gotta do is make an account, maybe, and look for it. And if we like it, I encourage you to go and support the study by joining it and hearting it. I'm not really sure how you support studies on Lead Chess. Anyway, so we're gonna go through this together. You're gonna join me on this journey of chess study. Uh, I apologize for that. So I will be reading it for you, and I will kind of explain what I'm thinking while doing the study, if that helps. So, greeting, dear chess friends. I am happy to share with you some of the exercises and training positions which we used to follow with my students over the past couple of months. It is still more of a draft form, so I am always open to questions and criticisms. If you find this study helpful, I am sure I will present more content. Oh my gosh, I read for a living. If you find this study helpful, I'm sure I will present more content of that type in the future. If not, still for me, it will be a great experience. Also, if you have any doubts or maybe you are considering working together, just feel free to contact me. Enjoy. Wotas. Okay, so let's go to the next one. This is the information, some of the chapters. Okay, so I've done this up a few just to see how it goes, and I've been enjoying it so far. This is basically saying that sometimes if you make a move and it says retry, that doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong. And we'll see one of these later in, I believe, one of the closed position strategy examples. It's really close to the Stonewall, which I play, and a lot of the moves I would make in the Stonewall aren't necessarily covered. So let's go to the next one. So this is the move selection algorithm. So I have one of these personally that I use, and it's super similar. You look for the opponent's ideas, forced options, checks, captures, threats, as well as simpler stuff like piece improvement, castling, pawn breaks. After that, you want to look for tactical strikes yourself. So can I check, capture, or create threats? And if there's nothing, you're going to look for piece improvement. You're going to find the worst piece and find the perfect square for that piece. If the pieces are placed optimally, look for pawn breaks or pawn play in general. So look for, the weak pawns. So I'm going to use this game right here. We're just going to go to a random position. This is Wilhelm Steins versus Samuel Tinsley. Steins was the first world champion. He was the first official world chess champion. And so, yeah, if we apply that here, well, let's see. Is our king safe? Yeah, kings are safe for the most part. I don't see. So what threats do we have? Captures here. That could be a check. Let's see. I think that's the only check. Captures. There's not many captures as far as pieces go. You have this one. Now we check ourselves. Is my king in danger at all? There's a check here, but that's easily taken care of. There. Okay, so now it's technically Wilhelm's move. Checks, captures, all that good stuff. You could capture here, but that's going to just lead to a piece trade, and we don't necessarily want that, especially this is a very important knight, that it stays here for as long as possible. And so there's this check, but that's just immediately gone, and we don't have any follow-up that can be seen. There's this capture, but that's immediately gone. We don't want to move this knight, but there is this, but then that's gone. It is defended, So that if this wasn't a good knight, we could trade that off and take and have the bishop pair. So that's always an option. There is a pretty obvious move right here, which I believe is what he does. He takes back, opening this file to eventually, get this out and then come this way. That's a maybe. I don't know. And so with that, that's kind of the thought process that I'm seeing from this one, and we're going to do our best to put it into place. Next chapter. This is a closed position due to the pawns. So closed position, to put it simply, is one in which the lines in the center are closed, blocked with the pawns. Rules for playing in closed positions. The game is played on the wings. So over here, so games played on the wings. If the opponent attacks us on one wing, we should be looking to counterattack and open the opposite wing. That is, if the white attacks king side, black should attack on the queen side. An attack on the kings is more dangerous, so the side attacking the non-king should try to be more specific at all costs, because checkmate is older than ordinary gains. I'm not sure what the older means in this, but it's better. So when you're building your attack on the king side, or when you have the advantage on the king side, it talks about it a little bit. You have the ability to be a little slower with your preparation because there might not be a lot of counterplay. Whereas if you're attacking, say, on the queen side, you kind of need to get the stuff moving and create threats on that side. Let's see. Lack of counterplay. So the position is closed. Black attacks on the king side, but how about white? He will not take any action in the center because it's completely blocked. The same on the queen side. Therefore, black doesn't have to hurry since the opponent has no counterplay. Black should calmly strengthen the position at the right moment, open the H file and invade the opponent's camp along it. Sample plan is to move all of the heavies, so rooks and queens, to the H file, and then move the king to a slightly safer square, which would be here, I believe. D7, for example. It's not going to be attacked by anything. And then you open the H file with, it looks like, H5 to G4. And so then you just have a big ole fight right here. And it looks like, it looks like you might be able to do it even faster too. Because you come here, there's that immediate threat. Let's see, we take our king here, put the queen there. Now we're threatening some real big issues. And if they make a goofy move, you can put your queen up or rook up to contain and then bring that over. So that's what? Let's see. That's one. We'll go with 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll go back. 6 moves, and you've created a super weapon. This time, black has no counterplay in the closed position, and white attacks on the queen side due to the lack of the opponent's active opportunities. White does not have to rush. An example plan, placing the heavy pieces on the A line. So it's kind of the exact opposite over here, but doing it here, opening, and then just crashing into. See, and this one's 1, 2, 3, 4, and in 5 on move 5 is the attack. So let's see, and this is kind of hemmed in. You could come here. You are in a bit of a tough position. Anyway, okay. So those are the lack of counterplay. Well, let's see. And then black just doesn't have an ability to open this up. Yeah. Okay, in the diagram, we have an example position from the classical variation of the King's Indian defense. The position is closed because the lines in the center are closed. Black will attack on the king side. He has more space there thanks to the e5 pawn. That is this pawn. Pushing f and g pawns. While white will attack on the queen side, he has more space there thanks to the d5 pawn. This one. White's plan consists of something like c4 to c5, so this one. Coming up here, exchanging up here, thus creating weakness on d6. Because if you exchange, this is weak. Because it's an outpost. It's a backward pawn, I think. I don't know. Stuff's confusing. As a rule, white has to hurry because he does not attack the king when white is not concrete enough. In case of advanced attack on the king, black will be able to sacrifice the entire queen's wing because checkmate is older. So you can sacrifice almost all of this if you can get an attack on the king. What would I play in this position? Now, again, I've come to, I think, the number 3, so I do know. But if they're coming here, this supports this. Best option, at least right here, is to protect. And so they go forward. So also, when this comes up, this provides a relief square for our dark squared bishop. So now that there's no active threats, and they're kind of wanting to come up and start doing this, we need to create our counterplay on this side. Okay. And they could take, but then that just loses a pawn immediately. And so now we need to put pressure on this pawn. And now, as far as choosing which pawn to put pressure on, that is above me at this point. I'm not sure. I do know that this pawn protects this pawn, protects this pawn. Nope. And so, you can take the center more so, but as far as deciding this is the pawn in particular that I want to murder, I don't have a concrete. And sometimes it's just well, if I can get this pawn, I can get, X, Y, Z. Okay, so the position on the diagram comes from the London system with the dark squared bishop exchanged. It has a closed character because we can't go. Since the center is closed, the game will be played on the wings. White will attack on the king side. He has the space advantage there thanks to knight e5, this one, or pawn f4, this one. Black must look for counterplay on the queen side. Advantage of the space is secured by the c4 pawn. There. Since white's attack is directed at the king, black has to be more specific or faster. White can afford to sacrifice the queen side if necessary, but when black lets go of the king side, he will simply get checkmated. So this is kind of where where I said that a lot of the stuff is, you don't have to the retry, because if you look, this is Stonewall. So this is kind of oh, I play this. And so what would I do in this situation is I would castle, rook lift, and start my attack. Because as of right now, it's protected. Now, the key to this whole attack is to get this knight moved. And so how would I do that? Now, they have their own plan, is I would do that, right? Because one more, and you have to move this knight, or you're going to lose that knight. You could take here, but then you get taken back. You could, granted, I'd probably have castled and get my rook here, but whatever. So they move here, and this move it was tricky. So when I did this the first time, I didn't understand this move, and now I do. And now it's like, okay, so that is a threat that needs to be dealt with because they're looking to open up the center. So this move reinforces this pawn, but it reinforces this diagonal. And their plan is to, I think, jump in here. And then what I would take, or they could fork me, but then I would take. Well, their plan is to jump here for maximum problems. So we have to stop that by coming here. And so let's see, b7 takes control over the e4 square, so white does the same, preventing the knight to e4 jump. Why shouldn't black be allowed to knight e4? Oh, so we're about to find it out. Knight e4 blocks the c2 bishop activity. On e4, the knight takes an active position in the center. Okay. From e4, the knight pressures the c3 pawn, this one, which can potentially become a weakness after b4, b5. Wait, b4 to b5. Okay. According to the general rule, all exchanges are somehow beneficial for the defending side, or not attacking the king, as well as with less pieces left, the attack on the king loses its power. Maybe here it's not exactly the case, as the f6 knight takes more part in the defense. So yeah, basically it's saying that this is an incredibly defensive tool, that when you castle like this, when all this position, maybe not that as much, but this is incredibly strong. And so it's saying in this situation, this may not be the best move in terms of defense, but generally speaking, trading pieces while defending is better for the defense because you're opening stuff up and you're allowing your opponent more counterplay. Because here, black doesn't have a whole lot of counterplay. According to, so as with less pieces, Okay, so now, remember, they wanted to jump in and do that. This is still defended once. So what do we do here? We don't take. I don't think we take. We could take here, but then you would take, and then we take there, and our queen has, but so I'm reticent of that move because what is the next step? At that point you could do here, threatening the rook, and they can't take because your queen would take. So I'm not a fan of that idea because we are attacking, we're wanting to attack the king's position. We could come here, and that way takes. I'd probably come here, honestly. And then that wouldn't be good because it's a discovered attack, but it's also a pinned piece. So if they went there, I would just take it. So what are we going to threaten? I say here. Why? Because it's threatening this piece. And what is the crux? That piece. And so if they want to come there, okay, we come there, they take, we take, and we're still threatening that original problem. which after we castle, so we can't castle. I don't think we can castle. Takes here. Maybe we can castle, because remember we also want the rook lift. This knight's not doing a lot here, so it could come here. Takes. No. Takes. No, I don't necessarily like that either. Maybe here. Takes. And there's a threat on that. Here. There it is. There it is. So now we, there's no reason not to come there. Can they stop it? They can come here. They come there. There is. I saw somebody in a position take here for some reason. Takes. But why? I'm going to say here. No? Why not here? And I mean this would kind of stink. Is this it? No? Okay. I swear I saw somebody take that. I don't think castling's necessarily a bad move because everything's more or less defended. No. It ain't this. I don't think it's that. Because you come, you take, and then you take back. 11:21. You could come here technically and threaten here. But what is that even doing? It's not castling. No? What's the solution? Oh, okay. I have seen this. Because it's like, this is kind of a weak. Okay, the decisive mistake. In addition to the technical shot that White has at his disposal with the f6 black with f6. So here, well, because here, like, takes. You're just in trouble. Takes. That's checkmate. Let's see. f6. Oh, with f6. Black has broken several rules. Do not push the pawns on the side you are weaker. Pawns should stand in one line chain without creating a hook that allows the opponent to open the lines for an attack. The principle that the side not attacking the king should be more specific in its action. For this reason, the engine suggests the move queen to a3. Yeah, because that's a weak pawn. And it's basically a free pawn. Nah, you can't really like attack too much more, but for this reason, creating pressure on the weak pawn c3 and forcing white to take defensive action in this part of the board, which slows down the attack on the king. Why? Is it here? Kind of what I was talking about? No? You could do this. No, you can't. And that's that. This is where I'm like, dang it. Can come here? No. No. What is it? That now? Okay. So I don't fully understand. This is the Greek gift sacrifice. Boop. You gotta take. Like right here. So this is the here, and it's gonna control this one and this one. You can't do anything to attack it. And then that's checkmate. What? Give me a break. What? How is that not? They would come out here. Well, that's happened a few times to me. All right. Do you just take? Get a material advantage? Because you've kind of fizzled out? Come here. Come here. Take that away. Oh, okay. And see, the problem is now you just get a little bit frustrated, and you're like, let me just make them move until it's right. So let's continue. We're gonna do our best to not tilt as hard. But let's see. So, what is their plan? They could come here, but that doesn't really do anything. If I came here and they came here, I'd come here. They move, and then I would just. So that's a plan. Take or go up. No. This is protected as of right now. Come up. Take, but that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. No. Oh my god. Okay. But Another piece joins the attack. White won, although not without difficulties. Bit. Okay, we're gonna try it again. So we're here, we come there. They are threatening to jump here. We don't want that, so we add further pressure here. All of my previous marks. Okay. We don't worry about that. What did we do here? We didn't do the Greek sacrifice yet. I think we came here. And then now we go on the attack. No? Vat. He came here. So we don't go on the attack. I think we come up here, right? No? Vat in the field. Oh no, I've forgotten the move. It ain't doing this because that's the final move. It's the final countdown. 1. Fun. Do not go there. They're wanting to put pressure here, right? 1, 2. And this is why we can just redo this, is because it's kind of embarrassing, actually. It ain't it. So it just does that and activates the rook. Isn't there something to threaten this move? Oh, defending this pawn. And then we kind of ignore that. No, we don't. And then that was a bad move. I don't even think we do that. I think now is the time for the sacrifice. Then you go back. And then we jump our knight in. No, because then that would just get that. Isn't it here? No? Because again, we're doing the rook. And this is another position. Don't take. We don't come here yet. I know I'm supposed to. Here? No. Oh, I don't want to look at the solution again. Here, I just get taken. What is this doing? I don't think this does anything. Oh, it gives me... Okay. And then this guy comes here. That goes there. And that goes there. So this is something we're going to come back to probably to redo. Thinking about ours. But we're going to try and get to 10 today. Just because there are 50. And so we're going to finish, the closed position strategies. Video's already 35 minutes. So let's go to the next chapter. Let's see. Okay, so in the diagram, we have the position from the London system again, but how much different from the previous one? Black managed to make a thematic break in the center, e5, e5, e6, e5. Huh? Oh, they came up one. I don't know. E6, e5. Thanks to which the position is now open, not closed. If white now tried to adopt a strategy from the previous example, pushing the g pawn, it could end up very badly for him. The position is open, so the bishops and rooks have much better activity and scope. The white king cannot feel comfortable, and if he stays on e1 and took pawn action on the king side, he would have to deal with d5, d4, which would expose even more center, the white king, etc. Rule of thumb, an attack on the wing should be countered with a break in the center. Okay. Oh, no. There we go. Make sure we're still in the right frame. So, let's see. Because it's not letting me click nothing. Is this not a clickable? Why can't I move? Oh, maybe this is a non-clickable. Accidentally. So, I think it's saying that we should break open the center. We could do it with this. Not really. Actually, really, it might be a castle time. So let's look at this. Let's try to evaluate the next moves. We obviously can't click on it. We might be able to go to the analysis board and at least get some kind of play. Yeah, for some reason it's not letting me click, but it is what it is. So we don't necessarily want a castle because they have a ready-made battery for that. So we might want to come out here maybe and castle this way. We don't really want to open up the center right now. Takes. That could have been, no, because it would do that. Come here. So we could do a little bit of play like this. But we're opening up the center. Castling might be the way. It's just that's pretty scary, especially if we come here. And that's kind of what I'm worried about. But if you come there, you just get taken. But this file's open. You could come here to stop that. Boom, boom. Anyway, so this is going to be it. That, looking at this a little bit, I'm not completely... We could come here. In there. This pawn's undefended. It's definitely not undefended. But yeah, let's leave it here for now. And then we will next video do 10 through okay, well, actually let's do 10 because this is the counterattack in the center versus wing play. Because it's kind of it's very similar to this, and then 11 it just completely switches. So sorry, this isn't the end of the video. We're gonna go for a little while longer. Let's see. So the positions from the last round of 2022 candidates tournament: Duda versus Nepo. White attacks on the king side, where his bishops and knights are aimed, as well as the h pawn has been advanced to the h5. Let's imagine that white has an additional pawn on d4. What? Here? Has then black set up along a d5 would make no sense, and white could easily maneuver his pieces to strengthen his position and attack the black king. Rule of thumb: an attack on the wing should be countered with a break in the center. Okay, so I do hear what they're saying. If there was a pawn here, this would make no sense. So what's being threatened in this position is for this to come up, right? Because you have this gun right here bearing down on the black pieces. Now takes. And so what are they going to do if they take and look at this. I mean, just geez Louises. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, here's the crazy part. This is going to favor, I believe, the black. Because, let's say, takes. Sorry, I lost count. So takes. You're threatening this piece. Takes. Yeah. So they don't want to take that. Oh my God, they do. What would I play? Yeah. As black has achieved, again, it's like 15. It's like take. The entire board is going to be open. There's going to be no pieces left because everything's pointing here. But black's going to be better because they're going to have, I think at this point, a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. They're going to have a rook. And so it'll be 2 rooks and a knight versus 2 rooks and 2 bishops. Okay. Piece exchange usually in the defender's. Yeah. So they were attacking. It's going to get crashed open. Let's go back to it. Yeah. Then they take. Sorry, I'm just looking at it again. You could almost. I wouldn't do that though. The only reason I wouldn't do that is because, say, takes, and you don't have to take back. Like, you're not forced. So you can't take with anything. You can take with either knight. Oh, maybe not either knight. Maybe that. I guess it's because it's like out here toward the center, maybe. takes, takes, takes. And then you throw your queen, because then we are threatening. Your queen is just so threatening in this position that you're almost forced to take. And then you take a bishop. Anyway, so that's where we're going to end it on 10. Next video is going to be 11 through 20. I hope you are enjoying this little mini series that we have here, and we will see y'all later.